The alarm clock had been ringing for the fifth time, beep beep beep, but you were still wrapped in your soft pink blanket. Your hair was messy while your soft pink lips were slightly parted, just enough that fly could easily go inside. You were breathing deeply as if the world outside didn't exist. Your body was aching with tiredness because yesterday had been brutal. Long hours of typing, running around with files, and staying back late in the office because your boss Jungkook demanded perfection. You were wearing short pajamas. It was already 9 a.m. You had a meeting at 10 a.m. And if there was one person in the entire universe who couldn't tolerate lateness, it was Jungkook. He was cold, strict, and merciless when it came to reels. Suddenly, your phone started vibrating. The screen flashed with the name of Jungkook, which you had saved as headache. Well, last night before sleeping, you had put your mobile phone on silent mode so no one would disturb you. The vibration was buzzing against the nightstand, but you were snoring peacefully. Ugh, Miss Ryan, ugh. He muttered under his breath while he was standing in front of your apartment door. He had to come because he had been calling you since last half an hour, but you were not receiving his calls. He needed that red folder which contained crucial company documents. Last night he had given it to you and especially ordered you to bring them with you in the office around 8:45 a.m. But you didn't appear, that's why he had to come to your house personally, as he couldn't risk the board meeting. With a heavy groan, he pressed the doorbell. Open the door, Miss Ryan. He rang the bell once again, but still there was no response. His patience was running thin. He tapped his foot against the floor in frustration. He tapped the bell again and again. Inside, the repeated noise finally crawled in your dream, and you pulled awake. You groaned and buried your face into the pillow. Aish, you brat is getting impatient this early in the morning. You muttered in your sleepy voice. With wobbling step, you dragged yourself out of the bed. You stumbled down the stairs, rubbing your eyes like a child. You didn't even realize that you were still in your pajamas. You reached the door, yawning, and carelessly twisted the knob open. The moment the door swung wide, a deep, cold voice echoed near you. Miss Ryan, are you mad? It's been. But soon his voice stuck in his throat. His eyes widened in a disbelief. Jungkook quickly blinked his eyes and gulping, he looked down with clearing his throat. You blinked at him. The moment your half open eyes adjusted and registered who was standing there, your jaw dropped to the floor. Mr. Jungkook, you? You bent forward hurriedly, completely unaware. Jungkook Adam Opal bobbled as he gulped hard. His ears turning faintly red, he looked away instantly, staring at his shoes. With his left hand, he loosened his tie. Ye Miss Ryan, do you know how many times I have been calling you? How you could be so careless, hmm? He said coldly. I'm sorry, Mr. Jungkook, my phone was on silent. I didn't notice. Forget it. Just go and change quickly. We need to leave for the office now. You nodded and frowned that why he was not looking at you. That was the moment your eyes fell on your pajamas. Your jaw dropped to the ground while your heartbeat raced. Sorry, Mr. Jungkook, I will be back soon. You muttered and stumbled back upstairs, nearly tripping on the last step because of your clumsiness. You shut your bedroom door behind you and leaned against it, covering your burning face with both hands. Oh my! Ashwayan, you are so mad. How could you open the door like this? You cursed yourself and I rushed to the bathroom. Clumsily, you turned on the tap, and after a minute, you were out. You had taken the quickest shower of your life. Opening the closet, you changed into your dress and rushed out after grabbing your bag, which contained some important files. As you opened the car door, you saw Jungkook sitting on the driver's seat. His ears were slightly pink, but his expression was still cold. You quickly bowed again, muttering breathlessly, I'm sorry. After a while, he spoke coldly. Where is the red file? You looked at him confused. Miss Wyan, where is that red color file? Red file? He tightened his grip on the steering wheel and his eyes narrowed. Yes, Miss Wyan, the red file, the one I gave you yesterday, remember? He said politely, as if he was trying. You frowned deeper, your lips pursed, and your brain was working slowly like a rusty machine, still waking up from sleep. Then suddenly your eyes widened, snapping your fingers softly. Oh, that file, Mr. Jungkook, I already checked it yesterday and gave it to Manager Lee. He promised me he'd take it to your house safely and handed it to you directly. Jungkook scoffed bitterly while dragging a hand down face as he groaned, muttering through clenched teeth. Miss Wyan, he didn't give me the file. You blinked. Didn't give you? Oh, then maybe he gave it to your mother or father. Last time he also did that. You remember he said it was safer with your mother? You said innocently, smiling at him. But Jungkook let out a heavy groan, gripping the steering wheel tighter as if he had personally offended him. So you are saying that we will have to leave for my house when there is only half an hour left in the meeting? You gulped and then gave him a cheeky smile. I'm sorry, Mr. Jungkook, but we'll have to go to your house first to pick up the file. Stern low voice. You should have told me that, Miss Wyan. Sorry, Mr. Jungkook. Jungkook let out a long sigh, pressed on the accelerator. The car lurched forward with speed, and the engine roared as he drove through the streets like a man on a mission. Mr. Jungkook, slow down, please. I'm not ready yet. Flatly, we are already late just because of you. There is no time to waste. You leaned your head back against the seat, dramatically groaning. I swear one day you will give me a heart attack, you muttered under your breath. Jungkook's lips twitched into a slight smile. Finally, the car screeched to a halt in front of the Jeon family mansion. Your head nearly banged against the window, and you quickly scrambled to fix your hair, feeling dizzy from the speed. Jungkook unbuckled his seat belt and said in his cold voice, Go and get the file. You turned towards him, your eyes widening like a kicked puppy. Yes, Mr. Jungkook. You spoke, almost gritting your teeth. Jungkook yawned, checking the time. There were 15 minutes left. Miss Wyan, hurry up. He said loudly. You gulped and dragged your feet like someone being sent to war. Your head felt light and your steps were clumsy, almost wobbling. Jungkook caught the sight of you through the windshield. The corner of his lips twitched. Despite himself, he almost chuckled. This girl, she really doesn't know how ridiculous she looks. As you reached the grand wooden door, it swung open before you could knock. Mrs. Jeon Jungkook's elegant but warm-hearted mother stood there with a soft smile. Her eyes lit up the moment she saw you. Kindly, oh dear, what a surprise! Why are you here so early? You quickly bowed at 90-degree angle, your voice polite but rushed. Good morning, ma'am. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I need the file. Manager Lee gave it to you yesterday, right? Mrs. June tilted her head, thinking for a moment, then she waved her hand as if dismissing the thought. Oh, that file. Forget about it now, dear. Come inside and sit with me. Your eyes widened in panic. You shook your hands quickly, refusing. No, Mrs. June. Mr. Jungkook, he's in a hurry. I need to take it quickly. The elder woman chuckled. He is always in a hurry, my son. Can't you relax for 1 second? Come sit with me for a while. Before you could protest again, she gently pulled you inside and pushed you down onto the soft sofa. You gave her a cheeky smile while scratching the back of your head nervously. Deep inside, you were screaming as you knew Jungkook would make your sandwich and eat it if he came to know that you were sitting here peacefully and gossiping with his mother. Mrs. June leaned closer, her eyes sparkling with curiosity as she studied your face, smiling brightly. You know, you are such a beautiful girl, dear. You should date Jungkook. I know my son is a bit cold, but he has a heart of gold. You almost choked on your own breath, caught violently as your eyes grew huge. Date Jungkook? No, Mrs. June. He's my boss. But your cheeks flushed. You like Jungkook secretly. In fact, you have been crushing over him since the day you joined the company. Mrs. June laughed heartedly, patting your hand. Boss or not, he's still my son, and I think you would be a perfect for him. Don't you think? You gulp and wave your hands frantically. Nervous laugh. Ah, ma'am, please don't joke like that. He would fire me if he heard this. Mrs. Jeon chuckled. Just then, Jungkook walked inside the house as he was insane to hold his patience any longer, muttering under his breath, "What is taking her so long? Does she plan to move in here?" With that, he entered the room. His dark eyes immediately found you sitting comfortably on the sofa, blushing while his mother was smiling brightly at you, and then he froze. Because the way he saw you. Mrs. June, my son is a perfect match for you, dear, don't you think? Jungkook jaw dropped, his heart skipped a beat, and his chest tightened unexpectedly. Mom, what are you talking about? You kept hearing his voice as you stood up. Mrs. June grinned. Nothing, son, it is personal. Jungkook narrowed his eyes at his mother, who gave him a cheeky smile. Mrs. June walked over to the desk and soon came back with a red file. Here, take it, dear. Yeah, consider my request, she whispered. Your cheeks instantly turned bright red, but you still nodded. Jungkook knew what was his mother saying to you. Rubbing his temples shyly, he cleared his throat and spoke. Shall we go, Miss Wyan? You nodded and bowing at his mother, you followed him to his car. As soon as you sat down, Jungkook exhaled. Hesitant. Miss Wyan, sorry about my mother. She sometimes say unnecessary things. I hope you don't mind. Gently with a warm smile. It is okay, boss. Really, she's sweet. I don't mind. Jungkook nodded with a light smile. He was feeling nervous, almost shy. His throat felt dry. Inner thought. Why am I feeling nervous? She's just my secretary. Just my secretary. But deep inside, he carried feelings. After a while, reaching the office, Jungkook went to the cabin while you walked over to the workstation. After a few hours, you were organizing the files, but then you felt a sudden pain step through your lower abdomen. You was pressing your hand against your stomach, whispering to yourself, "Ah, not now, please not today." You shifted uncomfortably in your chair, the familiar heaviness hit you. Your heart quickened, you knew what was happening. Hurriedly, you stood up and rushed to the bathroom. Locking the stall, you looked down. Panicking, whispering to yourself, "Oh, no, 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 not here, not now." You almost cried as you were prepared, not prepared, but this, you had no period. You pressed your forehead against the cold stall door and tears started to fill your eyes. Meanwhile, Jungkook was going through documents when a maintenance worker peeked inside. "Sir, the elevator, it seems to be stuck again. Could you check? We need permission to call the repairman." Jungkook side stood up and buttoned his blazer. "Fine, let's go." As he walked past the hallway, his ears prickled up something faint, a sound, a crying sound. He stopped in his tracks. His brows frowned. The sound came from the woman's restroom. His chest tightened. Inner thought, that was, it is her. He walked closer, hesitated, and then knocked gently on the door. "Miss Ryan, are you in there?" he asked softly, hearing his voice. Your crying grew louder. Jungkook frowned confusingly. "Miss Ryan, what is wrong? Tell me what happened." "You're sobbing good, however." Finally, your trembling hand unlocked the door and pulled it open. The moment you saw him, you couldn't hold back anymore. You just stepped forward. He didn't know how to react. You never behaved like that before. Gently, low voice. "It is okay, don't cry." You shook your head, not saying a word. You were too embarrassed to explain. You didn't want him to know. His eyes darkened with worry. Suddenly, he leaned down. "It is okay, Miss Ryan. You are safe," he said softly. Then his eyes fell towards the mirror on the wall behind you. His eyes grew wider when he noticed the faint stain. His heart skipped and his breath caught, but instead of making you feel embarrassed, he wiped your tears with his thumb. Calm but serious. Wait here, Miss Ryan, don't move. I will be back soon. He said and rushed out. You frowned, but before you could ask him, he disappeared. After 10 minutes, Jungkook returned slightly out of breath. He was carrying two large shopping bags. He ran over to you and placed the bags into your hands, awkward, scratching his neck. Oh, I didn't know which one you used, so I bought all of them. You peeked inside and your jaw dropped. There were a lot of along with several bars of chocolate. Your heart fluttered violently. Softly, teary eyed, Mr. Jungkook. He looked away quickly, clearing his throat, trying to mask his flushed state. He then removed his coat and handed it to you. Quiet but gentle. Here, take it. Your eyes filled with fresh tears, but this time they were not from pain, they were from warmth. You clutched the coat against yourself, whispering, Thank you, Mr. Jungkook. You said and hurriedly walked inside the bathroom. Your cheeks bright red were betraying you. 2 weeks had passed since you and Jungkook officially been dating. Tonight you were both at a grand business party. Jungkook was having business talks with his clients while you were standing near the food stall when the waiter came towards you and offered you a drink. You thought for a moment and then accepted it without thinking much. As soon as you gulped it down, your body started to feel strange. The heart reached through you and your skin flushed while your heartbeat raced. You fanned yourself with your hand. Ook, muttering to yourself, why am feeling like this? Your eyes started towards Jungkook. As a strange smirk appeared on your lips and stumbling on your heels, you walked towards him. Jungkook was in the middle of explaining a business proposal when he felt a soft tug on his sleeve. He looked down and his eyes widened slightly. It was you. Your cheeks were flushed, your eyes were glassy, and your lips were parted. You looked at him with desperation and whispered, a little too loudly for comfort, tipsy pleading, Help me! His clients looked at you frowning. Jungkook's sharp instinct kicked in immediately. Smiling politely to clients, Excuse me a moment. Please continue enjoying the event. I will be right back. Without another word, he guided you swiftly out of the ballroom. He opened the door to a quiet private lounge and led you inside, shutting it firmly behind you. You leaned against the wall. His eyes darkened with worry as he looked at you. I am here with you, Miss Ryan. Jungkook sat down on the armchair. After a while, you are laying. He looked down at you and smiled. My baby. Kissed your forehead softly, holding you as if you were the most precious thing in the world.